When Courtney Hadwin stepped onto the stage at just 13 years old, she commanded attention in a way that left audiences speechless. Her performance was electrifying, raw, and emotionally charged, revealing a voice that seemed far beyond her years. From the first note, she conveyed power, authenticity, and stage presence that few performers ever achieve. Judges and audiences alike were captivated not just by her talent, but by the fearless energy she radiated. It wasn't merely a performance, it was a declaration of arrival. Social media and news outlets began circulating clips of her performance, and millions of viewers shared in the excitement. Her artistry felt immediate and timeless, creating a moment that resonated across generations. In that brief window, Courtney was no longer a child performer. She was a revelation, a young artist with the rare ability to command attention and stir genuine emotion. Global reaction, instant fame and awe. The response to Courtney's performance was swift and widespread. Viewers from around the world were captivated by her intensity and sincerity, with fans praising her as a potential superstar. Comments on social media praised her for her originality and fearless delivery, celebrating a rawness that many felt had disappeared from contemporary pop music. For many, her performance was historic, an electrifying reminder that exceptional talent can emerge unexpectedly, challenging preconceived notions of age and experience. Yet, fame came with its costs. The adoration of millions was paired with scrutiny, and Courtney's sudden visibility exposed her to criticism from those who misunderstood her artistic approach. While the world marveled at her abilities, the attention also brought pressure to perform and meet the lofty expectations of a suddenly global audience. For a 13-year-old, this was both exhilarating and overwhelming. Simon Cowell's recognition of talent among those deeply moved by Courtney's performance, one judge stood out for his emotional reaction. Simon Cowell, renowned for discovering extraordinary talent, saw in her something far beyond a typical audition. He recognized a once-in-a-generation performer, someone whose voice and presence could leave an enduring mark on the music industry. Unlike routine praise, his reaction was genuine and deeply personal. He didn't just acknowledge her talent, he expressed a sense of responsibility toward nurturing it. Simon sensed the rarity of what he was witnessing, understanding that few artists possess the combination of raw vocal ability, charisma, and fearless energy that Courtney displayed. For him, her performance wasn't just a moment of entertainment. It was the emergence of an artist who could inspire, challenge, and redefine expectations. His admiration underscored the gravity of her talent and hinted at a bright yet fragile future. The early backlash. While Courtney's rise to fame seemed meteoric, the online world quickly revealed its double-edged nature. Amid the praise, criticism began to emerge. Some viewers claimed her performance was too intense, or not proper singing, while others accused her of inauthenticity. What began as casual comments escalated into targeted ridicule, and the relentless scrutiny became increasingly personal. At school, peers who had watched the show started teasing her, and even her family felt the weight of public attention. The very exposure that brought acclaim now created discomfort and stress. A young girl who had only wanted to share her passion for music was suddenly navigating the harsh terrain of public judgment. The backlash, fueled by the internet's amplification of criticism, transformed her initial joy into anxiety, threatening the confidence she had so naturally exuded on stage. The danger of viral fame for Courtney, online criticism evolved into a more severe threat. As attention intensified, some individuals sent her frightening messages, including death threats. For a teenager, this was terrifying, forcing her to confront hostility far beyond her comprehension. What had once been a source of pride, her voice and public presence, now became a source of fear. Daily interactions online became overwhelming, and even the safety of home could not shield her from intrusive attention. Her parents were acutely aware of the emotional toll, trying to reassure her while feeling powerless against the relentless negativity. The situation highlighted the darker side of viral fame. Exposure without preparation, adoration intertwined with hostility, and the fragile mental well-being of a young performer suddenly thrust into global visibility. Mental health struggles. As the pressure mounted, Courtney began to withdraw from the public eye. Social media, once a platform for connecting with fans, became a source of anxiety. She stopped posting updates, avoided engagement, and increasingly isolated herself. The very act of singing, which had once brought her joy, now felt heavy with expectation. The intensity of criticism caused her to question her talent and her right to perform, creating thoughts of self-harm, not toward herself in general, but through the fear of damaging her own vocal cords. The creative gift that had inspired millions now seemed like a burden. Her parents' attempts to encourage her and frame criticism as part of being a public figure could not erase the emotional strain. For a young artist, the intersection of fame, scrutiny, and vulnerability created a deeply challenging period that tested her resilience and self-worth. Simon Cowell's heartbreak. Watching Courtney struggle was profoundly affecting for Simon Cowell. He had seen extraordinary potential and envisioned a career defined by authenticity, creativity, and fearless artistry. Witnessing her retreat from her own talent due to external pressures was devastating. For someone whose life is dedicated to discovering and nurturing artists, it wasn't merely a professional disappointment. It was heartbreak. Simon understood the rarity of her abilities and the toll that relentless criticism could take on a young mind. He had witnessed the risks of exposing gifted individuals to public scrutiny and empathized with the personal cost. His emotional response reflected a mixture of admiration, sorrow, and concern, highlighting the human element often overshadowed by fame and industry expectations. The road to recovery over time, Courtney began to reclaim her voice, literally and metaphorically. Stepping away from the spotlight allowed her to focus on her mental health, emphasizing self-care over external validation. She gradually learned to ignore online negativity and instead draw inspiration from supportive fans and personal experiences. This period of reflection allowed her to regain confidence, not as a child performing for an audience, but as an emerging young woman shaping her own artistic identity. She realized that criticism was not a measure of her worth and that she didn't need to prove herself to detractors. By prioritizing her well-being, she transformed fear into strength, laying the foundation for a more sustainable, authentic approach to her career and creativity. Reclaiming artistic identity. Even after regaining confidence, Courtney faced challenges in the music industry. Standardized pop formats often clashed with her unique style, leaving her feeling misrepresented. Writing sessions and recording experiences sometimes seemed forced or superficial, creating tension between commercial expectation and artistic expression. Her breakthrough came with the support of producer Kevin Bowe, who encouraged her to explore personal, meaningful music. This collaboration allowed Courtney to write songs that reflected her true voice and identity, rather than conforming to pre-existing templates. The creative freedom reignited her passion for performance, helping her feel in control of her career. Her music became a genuine expression of her experiences, growth, and individuality, a transformation from a young sensation into a fully realized artist. Independent comeback. In 2023, Courtney returned to the music world with renewed independence and vision. Choosing to release music without the constraints of a traditional label, she took full control over her artistry. Her first independent single, Breakable, reflected her growth and authenticity, while her follow-up, That Girl Don't Live Here, confirmed her evolution into a mature artist. Her sound now blended jazz, rock, and soulful pop, and her lyrics conveyed resilience, self-awareness, and determination. Fans quickly recognized the change. Courtney was no longer the nervous child under scrutiny, but a confident artist commanding her own narrative. Her return marked a shift from mere performance to self-expression, establishing her as a musician whose work was guided by integrity, creativity, and the desire to communicate meaningful stories through song. Returning to the stage, Courtney's comeback extended beyond the studio. In April 2024, she performed at the prestigious Clive Davis Gala at Carnegie Hall, a milestone reflecting recognition within the industry. She returned to the UK stage with intimate performances, reconnecting with fans who had supported her from the beginning. By 2025, she announced a headline tour across major UK cities, including London, Birmingham, and Manchester. These live performances showcased not only her vocal abilities, but also her resilience and artistic maturity. Each concert symbolized a personal victory over the fear and criticism she had once faced, reaffirming her position as an independent, confident performer. Her stage presence now combined raw energy with seasoned professionalism, demonstrating the growth that had come from years of struggle, reflection, and determination to define her career on her own terms. A story of courage and resilience. Courtney Hadwin's journey illustrates the precariousness of early fame and the resilience required to overcome its challenges. From a 13-year-old sensation to a young artist confronting criticism, mental health struggles, and industry pressures, she emerged stronger, wiser, and more self-assured. Simon Cowell's heartbreak mirrored the broader human cost of viral stardom, yet her recovery highlighted the power of perseverance, self-care, and authenticity. Today, Courtney's identity is defined not by the opinions of strangers, but by her artistry, independence, and courage. Her music reflects her personal journey, transforming experiences of fear and criticism into creative expression. As she continues to grow and perform, she embodies the potential of a rare talent who has navigated adversity and emerged with control over her voice, her career, and her future. Conclusion: a talent ready to shine. Courtney Hadwin's story is both a cautionary tale and a testament to human resilience. The pressures of sudden fame, online scrutiny, and personal doubt could have ended her artistic journey, yet she chose to reclaim her voice and redefine her path. By prioritizing mental health, cultivating authenticity, and embracing creative independence, she transformed past struggles into a foundation for future success. Her journey serves as an inspiring example of how courage, reflection, and perseverance can overcome the pitfalls of public life. Today, she stands not as a fleeting sensation, but as a dedicated artist ready to leave a lasting mark. The world is finally witnessing the talent that captivated Simon Cowell years ago. A fearless performer who has reclaimed her narrative and is poised to shine on her own terms.